So our academy is a 12-week academy where we cover a wide variety of topics that are not only important to a law enforcement officer, but are focused really specifically for the Fargo police officer.
Typically when we're teaching our academy students, we're bringing them in a classroom format, providing the material to them in a lecture type format, and then introducing scenarios, real life situations where they can apply what they've learned.
I think coming into it, it sounded overwhelming with everything that we were going to be learning, everything they expected of us. But just as we got through it, it was just getting more comfortable.
I was like super nervous about it. They really helped a lot with that. The instructors, they helped calm nerves, I think, through like everybody.
From like day one to where we're at now, when we get put into scenarios and stuff like that and practicals, to where things just kind of become second nature now.
Our vision, mission, and value statement really guides everything that we do in the department, whether it's training, whether it's you're on patrol, whether you're in investigations. So trying to integrate that as much as we can into the academy is really a major goal of ours, so then it's just easy for them to take those vision, mission, values and then just apply them directly on the street.
We go a lot more in depth of learning from the classroom to going right into hands-on and learning how the Fargo Police Department operates specifically to get us prepared for the field.
I really like that it teaches you the Fargo way and gets you set up for success to work for Fargo PD. I think that's super unique for any other academies in the area.
It's a lot of classroom work. You know, we're in the classroom majority of the days.
I think I've sat in those chairs longer than I've ever remembered sitting in a college class.
Note-taking in class of PowerPoints and presentations and people coming in and talking to us. In high school I didn't take a whole lot of notes, and I find myself taking more and more notes in this academy.
We take like criminal law, traffic law, so we can all learn city ordinance, our state laws and all that stuff.
And I think one of the bigger things is how much they hammered like searches and seizures and amendments and how we apply those in case law and how we can do searches and when they're legal and when they're illegal. I think that was one of the bigger ones for me.
I kind of came into the academy without having any like criminal law background at all. And I feel like with the instructors, they've been like really diligent, and I've learned so much, so much more than I thought I would have known just by learning the ins and outs of, you know, what it actually means to be a police officer and actually what it means to be a Fargo police officer.
Room clearing was kind of challenging in that, just that first day, especially when you're just kind of learning it and go around that corner and you get shot.
Going in, you just kind of got to think on your feet, get a tactical approach going. And it's a lot of fun because you get to kind of really work with your teammates and stuff and get to know how they like to work.
You know that in a situation, if you do everything right and if everyone follows everything, that they won't shoot. It is stressful, but it's also a learning moment. I've learned more here during that training than probably 5 years in the National Guard.
My favorite thing, probably room clearing with ammunition rounds or getting tased. That was pretty fun. So I watched a lot of videos of it and I was like, all right, this is gonna suck. And then when it actually hit me, time slowed down. I thought it was gonna be for 5 seconds. It felt for like 40. I may have needed some soap afterwards for my mouth.
Taser, 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 deploy, deploy, deploy. Lower him down, lower him down. Stay down, stay down.
It was a good experience to learn, but it really hurt.
I walked in there and I see strobe lights flashing, it's dark in there, and there's this person laying on the ground. All of a sudden, blood starts spurting everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and they're like, you gotta stop the bleed, stop the bleed. So I'm trying to find where it's at, finally find it, and then I just feel wet just going all over me. When I was twisting the tourniquet, I couldn't get it locked into place, and it was crazy. Finally got it locked into place, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's over.
It's like driving fast, but still safe. It's like precision driving. You can't hit the cones, otherwise you're gonna get time penalties.
I definitely learned you can do a lot more than I thought you could. Some of the stuff that we did, I initially thought like there's no way we could do that, and once we did it, I kind of realized like, wow, you could actually, like, these cars can handle quite a bit. And it's what everyone wants to be when they're a cop, is just drive fast and put on the sirens and lights and
really pushing the cars and seeing what they can really handle is really cool.
From the first day, it was very tough. I was not ready for it, but now I'm kind of improving on it and I feel a lot better than I did. Definitely learned about being able to push myself to my limits as well.
At first I couldn't do push-ups, like 10 push-ups in a day. I didn't know how to do those funny those funny exercises, but now I can do 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups in one day. I don't get tired easily.
Defensive tactics I liked, just kind of doing those every single week, building on like the takedowns and getting out from underneath somebody.
They come in handy a lot in case people want to be resisting. It helps keep officers safe. If in case they have to go hands-on with somebody just because they're not compliant, it's a way to keep us safe and to be able to like execute our job appropriately.
Like I never did wrestling or anything, I did rugby, but defensive tactics actually knowing, you know, the safest way to detain suspects even, you know, to try to keep ourselves safe, but also to, you know, use the right amount of physicalness to actually be able to detain them and detain them safely.
They show us these defense tactics, how to take someone down, how to put someone in cuffs. We'll have one person resisting and then the other person playing as an officer, put them in cuffs, and then we would like change the role so you can feel like how it is to be the person who is resisting and the person who is the officer. So you get both.
Before we even get into shooting, everyone's got to have a very strong understanding of all the firearm safety. They definitely drill that into our heads before we're even allowed to go into the shooting range.
The instructors are really good at what they do. They're really good at starting with people from somebody who's never shot to being able to get them to pass the qualifications to carry in law enforcement.
Handling training firearms daily as soon as we get into class and then throughout the day, going over reloading drills, malfunction drills, all aspects of firearm safety and manipulation.
We were out running LIDAR guns, so you'd take it, you'd take sight into the gun. It's not an actual gun, but you take it and you bounce it off the license plates of the cars, oncoming or leaving, and it would hit the license plate and bounce back, and it would tell you how fast the car was going.
So one of us had to guess the speed limit, the car that was coming forward, and then the one with the radar had to like tell them the actual speed. So that was fun too, knowing what speed the car is coming from and then knowing the exact speed.
It was fun, kind of be able to see those indicators of what we're looking for when we do get out on the streets.
Throughout the day, being able to apply like the tests that we learned and really seeing what, you know, we heard for the past few days, like, oh, this is the things that you're going to notice, this is the things that you're supposed to be looking for, but then being able to actually see it really, really helped. I think all of us grow more comfortable and pay more close attention to what we're looking for when we are making those stops, because it is really crucial to make sure that you're meeting, you know, the clues that you're supposed to be looking for. And it was a great experience getting to actually see it on people that were really under the influence.
Fargo is a very diverse community, and it's getting more diverse as the years go on and as Fargo grows. So I really like that Fargo PD has an emphasis on diversity within their police department and also the community resources that they have. I'm really glad I learned about those resources that we have to offer the community and the services that we're able to provide through that.
Experiencing these different cultures is kind of something I look forward to as a police officer. You know, if you only speak English or if you only understand one culture, then you're not going to thrive here in Fargo.
The K9 unit is very well organized. It's a lot of times people just look at the dogs and it's like, oh, they just let them free. It's like, no, there's actually months and then weeks of constant training to keep the dogs on par.
It was cool watching how the dogs, you know, how they work and be able to see them go around the car.
So I ended up getting selected to wear the suit to get the dog bite. After the dog took off, and I looked back, I could see him coming at me. I'm like, there's no going back now. And I ended up biting my arm and rolling on the ground, and then when I was on the ground, he actually was able to pull me across the ground.
The gas, it was not fun. It gets in your lungs and you're hard to breathe, makes your eyes burn and water a lot.
That was my first time getting maced with the OC spray. That was very painful, but it was nice because that's a part of the mental resilience that we've been working on. We were able to go through something like that and work through it to finish the task.
For me, the best way to get through pain or anything like that is just kind of using humor to kind of get through it.
It's like how it feels to chew 5 gum.
It's like the commercial. Keep working, you're right there.
It's a painful experience. It's not comfortable, but you just kind of put that pain in a box and you can do pretty much anything.
The real big win for us is that we can steep these new recruits in our organizational culture, our vision, mission, values, teach them how to do things the Fargo way, and really get them embedded into the organization. So it's not just learning how to be a cop, it's learning how to be a Fargo cop, and I think that's a big difference from the rest of the state.
We start out the academy with very basic scenarios, and then as the academy progresses, we work our way towards some pretty advanced scenarios. There's that progression with the scenario-based training, but also in the classroom, we're giving the students regular feedback, and for a lot of them, it might be the first time in their life they've received some very difficult feedback. These are tough conversations that we have with students at times. But the students that we have here today have been able to apply that feedback, and they've grown a lot over the last 12 weeks.
The amount of growth we see on a daily basis is remarkable, and it's really cool to see that in person.
Everybody kind of comes in at different fitness levels as far as the PT stuff, but everybody's given 100% effort, everything they have, and it's just been phenomenal. It's made me even proud myself just to see how far some people have come.
Going from day one to now, I'm more confident in what I'm doing, and I have more trust in the people that I'm working with.
I think the biggest takeaway for me, and this is a big one for me and the Fargo Police Department, is accountability. You make mistakes, you fail, and you learn from them, and that has been a lesson that I've learned a lot here. Not in a bad way, but with all the different sorts of scenarios we do. Every scenario we do progressing throughout the academy, I'm just getting so much better because I'm like, oh wait, I gotta slow down, I gotta remember this, remember that.
I've definitely learned a lot of things about myself, things that I now know that I'm able to handle. Physically, I've seen myself improve a lot, as well as like leadership skills and communication skills are probably my biggest things that I've seen changes in.
There's a lot that I didn't know. Everybody assumes they know what this job entails or what it's like just by watching TV. That's not the case. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and a lot of knowledge that goes into this job.
Definitely a lot better at working through things that you didn't know you could handle. Starting out at the academy, I probably wouldn't think I would be able to operate through that, but I got it done and was able to kind of push through and finish my task.
They've put us pretty much through everything we use here. I mean, we've been tased, pepper sprayed, tear gas, shot with sim rounds. We've done pretty much all of it, and that's one of the biggest things we've learned is no matter what you face, you can fight through it.
This is really real stuff that we're going to be encountering on the streets that we need to be ready for, and they push us here because they know we can do it, and it's so important.
This group has had an opportunity to be together for 12 weeks, not only learning our culture, but kind of integrating themselves into our culture as a smaller team in a larger department. Now as they go out and they get dispersed into different shifts, work with different people, they're always going to have that attachment that they went to the academy together. They're going to remember that until they retire. So that's a neat little piece for them to take forward as they kind of join the larger Fargo PD team and participate and add to our growth.
Every day, all day long, been hanging out with each other. A couple of us have gotten together outside to, whether it be study or just chatting.
We're all laughing in the classroom, talking with each other about personal lives and kind of just building that family setting.
These individuals in my class, they are so funny. They are really nice people to be around. They are smart people. I've learned that they are so smart and they are really nice people to talk to, and they are really good individuals.
They take you from not knowing anything about law enforcement to like up here, being ready to be out there on the street, making the right decisions and choices. And it feels kind of great to have, like that great support system that, you know, even our instructors, they are going to be our coworkers, and everyone else that I've met in the department, all of my other classmates, like everyone's just such a great resource.
We all got better together, and it was just awesome to see kind of everybody's knowledge, physical strength, defensive training, all that had just grown.
I've definitely enjoyed my time here, but it's I'm definitely ready to, you know, get in a squad car with PTO and start actually, you know, working for the police department and helping people and being in that service role.